Welcome everyone to the TOS New Zealand update. I'll be sharing our update on behalf of the TOS team in New Zealand. But before I jump in, I just want to say a heartfelt thanks to you, Nancy, for all that you do. In 2022, after 19 years of leading the TOS in New Zealand, we had a change at the helm, and I was very happy that Carol Collier decided to take on the role, as she's very heart-centred. So our new national director is Carol Collier, and I will ask you to come up and just be here. I'm going to ask Carol some questions shortly. So if you'd come up, welcome. Okay. All right. First of all, Carol is really well known in various community circles in New Zealand, and it's been very much a joy to work with Carol. Now, before we start on just some of our local projects, Carol has the the Waikato Study Centre for the TS in her home, as well as the TOS Centre. So it's all gathered in her home. So I'd like to ask you just to tell us just a tiny bit about that.
Yes, well, first of all, excuse me. First of all, it's not my home, actually, although it seems to be a home for many people because many people come in, but it doesn't actually belong to me. It was a place that was made available, and I just happened to sort of be offered the opportunity to be there. Yes, first of all, I wondered, well, why was I there exactly? Why am I here? I mean, you know, I had a place to live and everything was nice and smoothly going along, and then all of a sudden there's a bit of a bump and here I am in this place. So, and it's just grown itself. Really, I don't do anything. It does itself. It unfolds itself. But what we do there is we have a Buddhist monk who comes and regularly gives a talk there. We have a Krishnamurti group there. We have, of course, our theosophical nights there, and gatherings too for the TOS. So we also sponsor through the donations we get in. We also sponsor some children. And yes, people come and feel like, well, they say it feels like home. They come because they have different needs, so it's lived in. Some people come just to read, sit and read, take a book from the library. Other people just come to be there, to look out the window of the sunroom and look out at the sky and the hills and be at peace. And they are able to make a cup of tea or coffee, or sometimes they eat, and sometimes we have people from overseas who just seem to arrive. So it's a living, moving space. That just seems to draw a lot of people, and from the community as well. So, yes.
Okay, you two swap places. There we go. Thank you. Now, in around the centre, there's a number of projects that Carol has initiated. Now, the first one is called the Here to Care Project. So, if we could, this one here. Which the TOS in New Zealand and the Waikato Theosophical Study Centre are supporting. Now, I'll ask you just to talk about it quite quickly, Carol, because we're on time thing. But it was founded by Paul Tierney, and he was a former constable in the community, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yes, and he does the most amazing work for young males who have been through the courts, who have got into trouble. I mean, their background, they've had a very, very difficult background, and there's been violence, there's been drugs, there's lots of things, and they've been the lost young people. It's so and have gone through the courts. They've gone to court. And Paul Tierney, from Here to Care, he's a police constable. He decided that he was just so tired of escorting these young men, or boys really, into court, and then they would be given a sentence, and then of course he'd see them again further down the street, and this was happening all the time, and then so he decided that, well, nobody seemed to be doing anything about it, so he would try, and he started the Here to Care program, and they grow. He got them gardening. He got little jobs in the community for them to do, so they, became involved in the community, and then people started accepting them, and it's been a really wonderful journey. It's been wonderful for so many young Maori people who would just normally then lived on the streets, and they've gone on to help other people. So it's been fantastic.
Thank you. The other thing with Here to Care is that their values are very important to them. Their values are araha, love, tautoko, support, and manaaki, care. So this aligns with the community needs and with our values as well in the TOS. Okay, our next one is the Children Art House Foundation. So TOS New Zealand, we recently supported the publication of a special book called What Happens at the Children's Art House, a Model for Every Society by Shona Hammond Boys. Now, I'll just ask you to talk to this one quite quickly, Carol.
Yes.
So, yes. Go on.
Yes, the art house was started by Shona. What she does is it goes around to different schools in New Zealand, and again, they're usually children from low socio groups, and she gets them into art. She gets them drawing and painting and yes, a lot of creativity, and I went along to one of their creative activities, and that was painting a fence. It was in an area where there was so much graffiti and so much these young people again breaking into houses and things like that. And she took a group of people from schools, so she worked with schools, and they painted. They started by painting a friend of mine her fence. And it was really interesting because although they could paint whatever they liked, they all sort of seemed to paint, is there it's not a, no. We don't have a photo of it. Oh, well, it actually looked like a big mural. It was absolutely beautiful, but they were all just painting their little pieces, Wonderful success with those young people. So it was another wonderful project.
Thank you. The other thing with this project, in helping support the publication of the books, we've managed to bring approximately, I think we've got 28 copies of the book. So every TOS country can have a copy of the actual book so that you can see what's involved. And inside, I'll just read you something small. The Theosophical Order of Service in New Zealand fully endorses this little book, which depicts the transformative value of art and creativity for children in their communities. I just need glasses actually. May it have far-reaching effects in bringing comfort and joy to children in New Zealand and throughout the world. It tells you a tiny bit about it on the first page, and then every page has a picture of the various projects that they've done, just with a tiny bit of writing, so it can be shared with everyone. It's really amazing what this Shona's done. She lives around the corner from me, and she's like an artist, author, musician, filmmaker. She does many more things, and she has been internationally recognised throughout the world for her art house projects, both in Australia, the USA and New Zealand. So she's been recognised by the Queen and quite a lot, but she's in her 80s, and she wanted to print this book as her legacy to leave for the future. So that is why we have supported this particular project. So I've got the books up here. So at afternoon tea, if your country would like one, just someone come and see me. That'll be great. All right, so that's all on the art houses. Let's go next to... Oh yes, the last one that Carol in her community has been doing is the parent teen unit. So just really quick.
Actually, teen parent unit. This is about young women who become pregnant, again from families that, you know, well, they have tough times. These young girls, they get pregnant, and so it's about yes, taking them in hand and you know, teaching them another way, and again they turn out absolutely fine. They look after them, they keep the babies, we provide help and support for them to do that, and change lives, you know, it just changes lives. So yeah.
Thank you. Now, on the international front, I'll just highlight some activities. TESNZ continues to sponsor the child sponsorship program in Pakistan, and we sponsored 2 of the Kandil schools that you heard from earlier. We did have a child sponsorship program in India with a group as well, but at the moment we're just having some problems getting the funds through, so that one's on hold at the moment. I was blown away yesterday. I just wanted to share when Mustaq came along, arriving from Pakistan, as we have corresponded for many years, and it was very moving to meet him in person yesterday. I just wanted to share that because I thought these events, this is partly what that's about. And the last Congress, I actually met Hamid Mayet, who has passed a higher service, so it was lovely that Mustaq was able to attend this time. Our contacts through these projects are really, truly amazing. It's sort of like coming face to face with your own heart when you meet these people, when you know you've worked together. A few years ago, we supported the TOS in Hungary on the Ukraine refugee appeal, and catching up with Adrian yesterday was very special as well. Now, just in the past 2 weeks, we have sent funds through the TOS in Ukraine to Svetlana, also funds through to the Golden Link College, the matching grant fund. We've sent those funds through the TOS in the USA, so that sort of happened 10 days ago. We're also fundraising for the Olcott Memorial Higher Secondary School in Adyar, and we have some funds already for that, not quite ready to go. But this particular slide here, I just wanted to introduce the TOS team. On the left is my daughter Melanie, and then we've got Sue and another Melanie, and me and Carol. At least our names are not the same. Okay. So the other thing I'm going to talk just quickly now, which kind of goes partly into the later session, if we could do the next one, is the 2 sides of the coin. Always we talk about inner and outer action, and our key goals within the TOS in New Zealand has been to support the TS in New Zealand to help realise the first object. We see that as really a very, very key goal in helping to form that universal nucleus, the nucleus of the universal kinship of humanity. So TOS is represented at all these schools of theosophy that we have, at the TS immersion weekends, at the annual convention, and any other small events we have. We usually have things for sale. We also do raffles I have books signed by different people, whether it's been Joy Mills or Tim Boyd or whoever signs them, and we sell tickets, and then we have someone win that book. We have second-hand book stalls. We have TOS evenings at the TS events, and these evenings we do mandalas. No, it might be on the next slide, but not yet. I'll wait on that one. We do mandalas. And really that creating, we might have the whole evening in silence with soft music, and everyone's just colouring and drawing, and we have pictures all over the wall, and then we share bliss balls and herbal teas so that we have a really nice evening together. And that's always very special, particularly at the events during the year. We also share, I ask people when they come to share a story or a poem, and I feel that this is a very important part of our theosophical work because it opens the hearts of people. You know, sometimes we can be a bit head heavy, book heavy, which we all love our theosophical books, but it's nice sometimes not to talk and just to engage the heart. These evenings are just such a highlight that we have at all these events. But really I have to thank the National Section because they support the TOS activity and the purposes to opening people's hearts. That is the purpose of these things. We also have 2 pages in the TS magazine for inspirational articles and updates. So that's a regular, that's quarterly, which is always well received. I have 3 copies of our magazine. If anyone would like a copy, I'm happy to hand those out. And if we can jump to the next slide, I just wanted to point out here with this, we're really about building connection, particularly also within the TS. This is one of the evenings at our local lodge. Now, in that picture, well, there's Carol there, but I was thinking there's actually 2 artists. I can see Francis from Australia at the back there, and Leo would have been beside him. There's the Director of Studies, which was Huli, and her daughter, and there's the President of the TS in New Zealand, Richard, and behind him is a professor from a university in New Zealand. So it brings everyone from all walks of life just together to be together on this evening, and honestly, they just love it. So I feel these things are really important as far as theosophical work goes. Now, let me see. Lastly, I would like to share just a poem that we published in our June Theosophia magazine. It's not really a poem, it's just a reflection. Now, it was Carol that wrote this, and it was really lovely. So I thought I'd finish the session on just reading this. It's called A Reflection on Transformation. When we do all that we can to live in truth and love, compassion and gratitude, something comes to meet us. We cannot go to the next stage on our own. We only see parts of the journey and express the little understanding we know and value, but we can only go so far. Only in the silence of that meeting, that pause, does it come. It does not come in the want, the need, the thought, the striving, but simply in that precious moment when all comes together. We make that connection and fly. Just as the butterfly emerges from its cocoon, opens its wings, and becomes all that it can be, it is not the beginning or the end of its journey. As the butterfly needs the air to fly, so we need the silence or pause to rise above our limitations. The vision of the caterpillar and how it emerges into the butterfly is the human story of our emerging within the silence in that precious moment and becoming who we truly are. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks. Good afternoon. Respected International Secretary, TOS International Secretary, Nancy Seacrest, and dear Theosophists, brothers and sisters, and friends. Warm greetings heartfelt blessings, love, and light to each one of you here from TOS Pakistan. I feel delighted and honor to speak to you today with so many fellow seekers who care about serving humanity. This morning, Tim Boyd, our president, talked about in great detail about compassion and gratitude. So let me start by gratitude, thanking you. My heartfelt gratitude to all our generous donors, dedicated supporters, and compassionate friends. I'm sure you'll be happy to know that your unwavering love and care are transforming the lives of underprivileged children in Pakistan. Because of your support, these children now have success to education, renewed hope, and the promise of a better future. We were in TOS Pakistan, we have been inspired by the work of giant person, Dr. Annie Besant, whom we all know. And Karachi Theosophical Society came into existence in 1896. Why? Why 1896? Because Annie Besant visited the part of India that is now Pakistan, in Karachi. The hall was full when she spoke. And she had a small height. So a table was brought so that, people over there could listen to her. And what she talked about, man, the master of his destiny. Man, the master of his destiny. And she was so eloquent. You can imagine Pakistan in 1896. Pakistan's most population is even today illiterate. But at that time, the scale was very high. And it made so much an impact that that they say we must have a theosophical society here in Karachi. And it was formed immediately. And they had no building, nothing, they would meet in a very small place, and there were 3 of them. So the number is really not important. It is the motivation, it is the thought, it is the idea, it is the inspiration that comes from us. That is more important. And so society was formed. She visited Karachi. I'm talking about Karachi only. Following the Karachi center, 13 more lodges were opened. And she came in 1917 to Karachi again. And she started a small school. Now I'm telling you why we are so passionate about education. Our main focus, our attention is education. Whether we are giving education to small children who will never go to school. Now, the Kandil School project was so nicely explained by Nancy Secret Saiba, sister. Similarly, there are other areas I will talk about in which we are busy. So Kandil Home School is one of them. So Annie Besant comes to Karachi in 1917, and she started a small school called Besant Pachala. Now that school today is a women's college, very near our building of Theosophical Society. There are 6,500 women being taught in various fields in that organization. Then I am giving you these stories because maybe, most of us may not know that she has done so much work in Pakistan. And Pakistan is the only country that has a Muslim country with 240 million people there. That has a Theosophical Society. I don't know if there is any other Muslim country that has a Theosophical Society. And why I am mentioning this, I will little later. I may be allowed a little more time than 15 minutes, it appears.
Nancy's not here. Go for it.
Thank you very much. So, so I am very, very grateful to all the donors and the supporters who are here. Australia actually came to our help just when we were starting in 90s a Kandil Home School program. So if I remember the names properly, I like to take their names and say my gratitudes. Here I have met George Wester today from Australia. Highly grateful to you. I met Leota, and I'm so grateful to you, and I'm very happy to learn that you have a Indo-Pacific conference in Perth, maybe in a couple of years? Next year. Next year. So I have said you can book me, and I'll be there. I encourage you to do so. We had an Indo-Pacific conference in Pakistan. Do you know it? That was in 1985. And it was actually created, it was organized by Gul Minwala. How many people know Gul Minwala? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. I'm grateful to New Zealand. Renee Sell and Richard Sell. What a wonderful people. They have been helping us out of the way. Sometimes it is just the way the people help you, but they go out of the way. I don't want to elaborate on that. I'm also grateful to Spain, Italy, let me say Italy. From Italy, we have Patricia Calvi and Dr. Antonio Gerard, who is not here. But you know, they provide us support, and they don't say, okay, we have provided you support. What they say? We are grateful to you, you are giving us an opportunity to help. I say in Pakistan, I've never heard anybody saying that. They always keep their hand up. He's putting his hand down. So that is the real service to humanity, suffering humanity. This morning, our eloquently speaking president, when he is speaking, I feel the flowers and the sugar is coming from his mouth. And that he should never end talking. He should keep on talking. So he talks about compassion so much. Emphasis on compassion and gratitude. The two items, very, very important in any person's life. And I feel that the receiver is benefited with compassion and gratitude. The giver is also transformed, and he gets peace with that. That is the beauty of giving. That is the recognizing the suffering humanity whom we have to reach. So we have been inspired by a couple of things, other things, about Annie Besant. So she set up this Pachala with 20 children, a very small school. You heard about Jamshed Nasarwanji. I heard in Indian presentation, they talked about Jamshed Nasarwanji of Karachi, helped them many times. Jamshed Nasarwanji, yeah? 2 minutes to go. I finish it.
That's okay.
Huh?
Is that okay?
Oh, that is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we've got one
So
more
I would mention further that what project we have. We are focusing, 2 minutes. We are focusing on education. Why we are focusing on education? Because we have been inspired by Annie Besant. Annie Besant set up this, sow the seeds of this, the educational institute that become a very large women college in Karachi. This is Kandili School. Maybe if you are giving me 2 minutes, then I will not go through it because that may take very long time. So we have talked about Kandili School and about Annie Besant. She came to Hyderabad in 1921, and she set up an arts college over there, and now that is a government-funded university with thousands of students taking part there. And when we see that so much work was done, Annie Besant, and so much she has done in the entire India, starting from Banaras Hindu University, why should we not focus our attention on education? We cannot reduce poverty in any country if the education is not being given priority, importance. Unfortunately, in our country, 23 million children of school age are out of school. That's why we selected Kandil Home School. Then let us take these children in and work for them. Then there are dropouts. Those children who go to school for some or the other reason, mostly by finance. So we have education sponsorship program funded by our New Zealand, Australia, Italy, Spain, very generously. So we are not asking any more money from them. Others are most welcome to help us. Take their example. Then we have a Jamshed Memorial School. I can talk a few minutes on that, but I'm not going to talk. There, again, I go to our president. He says, knowledge is powerful. Knowledge is powerful. Now, when we design our education delivery program, we keep this in mind. But then, what kind of knowledge? Information, knowledge, and wisdom. On all three levels, our children communicate on a regular basis with the schools in India. Like Savada School in Pune and Millennium School in Delhi. Now, in one such session, our children were there on one side. This is all on internet, online, on Zoom. So, in one such program, the Savada School children noticed that these children in Karachi, whom we are talking, are very peaceful, very calm. Now, Indian children noticed that. And one of them asked, how come you are so calm and quiet? And the answer came very simply but profoundly. Our side, Karachi side, children said, we meditate daily. We have made it a part of the syllabus that when the children come in the classroom, they meditate for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And when they leave for home, they again meditate for 5 minutes. Then we have connected ourselves with, now these programs were held because our school is a member of Charter for Compassion. And the teachers from Charter of Compassion come to our school, they train on 9 items of compassion to our teachers. And in turn, the teachers implement those 9 aspects of compassion. Now, 9 aspects would be, meditation and caring and sharing, all that where the heart is involved. It goes into work. Then we had a problem. In Pakistan, there is a problem that children feel and the teacher feel that the more information you give during the examination, that is the rule. Memorization, rote learning is the rule of the day. Therefore, we have collaborated I will just take 1 minute, and that's it.
Okay, 1 minute.
1 minute, just 1 minute. So we have collaborated with Aga Khan, University Board of Examination. Have you heard about Aga Khan? There is a very big hospital, and so they have set up an examination board. This examination board has come with this idea that first teachers should be trained how to teach. No examination board in the world does that. No examination board. In my country, there are these the government examination boards and O-level, A-level examination board like Oxford University, like Cambridge University, but they do not follow this strategy. Now, this examination board, Aga Khan University examination board, first trains the teachers what to teach without rote learning, without memorization. And the result is we have seen an extraordinary change of our children. We have got a Jamshed Memorial School that starts from Montessori to middle level. That's all. But the transformation that has occurred, I cannot explain to you. It is all in line with Madame Blavatsky's key to theosophy. If we had our schools, we will not put so much burden on the students to memorize.
Muy buenas tardes a todas y a todos. Es para mí un verdadero honor y una alegría estar aquí con ustedes compartiendo este espacio de conciencia, servicio y transformación interior. Hoy quiero hablarles de un sueño que se está haciendo realidad. Un sueño de muchas almas que vibran con la misma intención: aliviar el sufrimiento del mundo sembrando consciencia y actuando con amor. Ese sueño se llama Fundación Recta Acción, una organización sin ánimo de lucro que nació oficialmente el 18 de septiembre de 2024 en Valencia, España, y cuyo patronato está formado por Ángeles Torra como vicepresidenta, Alejandro Bueno, que es su fundador, tesorero y secretario, además de coordinador nacional de la Orden Teosófica de Servicio en España, y yo mismo, Felipe Bobis, que tengo el honor de compartir con ellos este proyecto como presidente de la Fundación. Tras su inscripción en el registro de fundaciones y un intenso periodo de trabajo preparatorio, comenzamos nuestras actividades el 7 de marzo de 2025. La Fundación Recta Acción canaliza en España una buena parte de la labor de la Orden Teosófica de Servicio. Y como ustedes bien saben, la OTS tiene dos grandes objetivos que nos dejó nuestra fundadora Annie Besant: el servicio desinteresado a los necesitados y a los que sufren, y la transformación interior de quienes realizan el servicio. Estos dos principios son el corazón que impulsa cada uno de nuestros pasos. Pero no nos quedamos solo en aliviar el sufrimiento visible. Queremos ir más allá. Queremos mirar de frente sus causas profundas. Como nos enseñó, entre otros, el sabio Patanjali en los Yoga Sutras, hay una raíz común al sufrimiento humano: la ignorancia de lo que realmente somos. Por eso, nuestra labor no se limita a la acción social o la ayuda material, tan necesarias, sino que se amplía hacia la educación integral y el despertar de la consciencia. Servimos con las manos, sí, pero también con la palabra, con el conocimiento, con el ejemplo. Esta visión se concreta en 3 líneas de trabajo fundamentales: la educación para la vida, el despertar de la consciencia y el servicio a los más vulnerables. Educación integral para la vida. Este eje se dirige especialmente a madres, padres, abuelos, educadores y personas interesadas en la formación de las nuevas generaciones, porque sabemos que la verdadera transformación comienza en la infancia. Ofrecemos formación que va más allá de los contenidos académicos. Hablamos de valores, de autoconocimiento, de inteligencia emocional y espiritual. Queremos cultivar una nueva mirada. Entendemos la educación no solo como la transmisión de conocimientos, sino como una herramienta que ayuda a ser plenos, libres, conscientes de sí mismos y del mundo que los rodea. La infancia es, sin duda, el terreno más fértil para despertar conciencia. Inspirados en grandes pensadores como Montessori, Krishnamurti, Steiner y Vicente Jauchín Jr., a quien tenemos el placer de tener entre nosotros, promovemos una educación alternativa que va más allá del aula. Formando seres humanos íntegros. Hemos iniciado esta línea de trabajo con artículos en el blog de la Fundación y conferencias que pueden visualizar en nuestro canal de YouTube. Y estamos trabajando en el desarrollo de contenidos accesibles para familias y profesionales de la educación. En las últimas semanas hemos realizado ya varias conferencias, una de ellas sobre las herramientas emocionales para el aula y la familia, que la han dado profesionales de las escuelas Montessori, otra sobre los fundamentos de la pedagogía Waldorf-Steiner, y entre otros de los proyectos que tenemos en marcha y que esperamos que se ponga antes de final de año, está la publicación en español del libro de Vicente Jauchín, Educación sin miedos ni comparaciones, que se difundirá entre padres y educadores. Despertar la consciencia. En esta segunda línea nos dirigimos a jóvenes y adultos que en algún momento de sus vidas sienten ese llamado interior, esa pregunta profunda que nos impulsa a mirar hacia adentro. ¿Quién soy? ¿Para qué estoy aquí? ¿Cómo puedo vivir con más sentido? Queremos ofrecer una brújula en medio del ruido, herramientas para el autoconocimiento, para el silencio interior, para reconectar con la sabiduría que todos llevamos dentro. Y lo hacemos a través de contenidos digitales, como artículos en el blog, conferencias, vídeos y su difusión a través de las redes sociales. El enfoque es siempre sencillo, directo y cercano. No enseñamos teorías para acumular ideas, sino llaves que abren puertas en la consciencia. Trabajamos con textos de grandes sabios de la humanidad, con la sabiduría eterna, y los compartimos con un lenguaje actual y accesible para que cualquier persona, sin importar su formación, pueda aplicarlos en su vida diaria. Alguna de las conferencias recientes que hemos realizado es los pasos del servicio y el despertar interior. Servicio a los más vulnerables. Esta línea es la manifestación más directa del corazón de la Fundación. Trabajamos con personas en situación de extrema vulnerabilidad, especialmente personas sin hogar y aquellas que se encuentran en riesgo de exclusión social. Ayudar a otros no solo mejora sus vidas, también despierta lo mejor de nosotros. Cada proyecto que impulsamos es una respuesta a una realidad dolorosa, pero también una oportunidad para construir un mundo más humano, más justo y más fraterno. Amar es servicio en acción. Y no lo hacemos solos. Trabajamos en red con personas voluntarias de la Fundación, profesionales, instituciones y organizaciones que, como nosotros, creen que toda vida tiene valor y que toda persona merece una oportunidad. Nuestra acción se centra en acompañar a quienes más lo necesitan. Nos enfocamos especialmente en 3 ámbitos donde el sufrimiento es más profundo: las personas sin hogar, la infancia vulnerable y las mujeres en situación de violencia o exclusión. Cada una de estas áreas representa un desafío social y también una llamada al corazón. Nuestro objetivo no es solo cubrir necesidades básicas, sino restituir dignidad y promover procesos reales de transformación personal y social. Queremos ofrecer oportunidades para que las personas puedan reconstruirse desde dentro, con apoyo, respeto y acompañamiento consciente. Desde esta línea hemos puesto en marcha el proyecto Hogares Fundación Recta Acción, viviendas donde personas que se encuentran en una situación muy vulnerable pueden vivir de forma estable en un entorno cuidado, con apoyo emocional y herramientas para reinsertarse laboral y socialmente. Sabemos firmemente que cada ser humano, por más rota que esté su historia, tiene una luz dentro que puede volver a brillar. Aunque somos una fundación joven, en estos primeros meses ya hemos vivido momentos profundamente significativos. Me gustaría compartir con ustedes algunos hitos recientes que nos llenan de ilusión y de esperanza. El 7 de marzo lanzamos nuestra página web oficial, que se ha convertido en una plataforma viva para compartir enseñanzas, testimonios y propuestas de transformación interior. Como tienen en la diapositiva, fundacionrectaacción.org. El 11 de abril dimos un paso muy importante. Pusimos en marcha el primero de nuestros hogares Fundación Recta Acción, un espacio digno para personas en riesgo de exclusión y que ahora pueden comenzar una nueva etapa en su vida. No es solo un techo, es un lugar donde volver a sentirse humanos. El 5 de mayo firmamos nuestro primer convenio de colaboración con la ONG Amigos de la Calle, con quienes realizamos acciones conjuntas de acompañamiento, distribución de alimentos, acceso a viviendas dignas y escucha activa a personas sin hogar. Juntos tejemos una red de apoyo y amor donde antes había soledad y abandono. En las últimas semanas, la Fundación ha realizado dentro de este convenio una aportación económica importante para poder comprar los muebles y electrodomésticos que la vivienda que se ponía en marcha en Valencia necesitaba y que ahora permite que allí haya ya 5 personas, 4 mujeres y un niño de 6 años. El 20 de mayo firmamos un convenio de colaboración con la Fundación ADECO para impulsar la inserción sociolaboral de las personas sin hogar y en riesgo de exclusión social. El 9 de junio firmamos un acuerdo con la asociación Por Ti Mujer, una entidad referente en la defensa de los derechos de las mujeres, el empoderamiento y la lucha contra violencia de género. El 24 de junio firmamos un acuerdo con Psicólogos Sin Fronteras, una organización sin ánimo de lucro dedicada a la acción humanitaria, cuya misión es promover la atención psicológica de los colectivos más vulnerables. Y por último, muy recientemente, el 1 de julio, con la Casa Colegio San Vicente Ferrer, una institución con más de 600 años dedicados a cuidar, educar y acompañar a la infancia vulnerable. También quiero destacar la colaboración con la Sociedad Teosófica en España, que nos ha permitido recaudar fondos para aliviar el tremendo sufrimiento de muchas personas y familias afectadas por la Dana en Valencia y que a través de la Fundación se está trasladando, llevando, canalizando a las personas afectadas. Queridas amigas y amigos, si algo hemos aprendido en este corto pero intenso camino, es que cada acción, por pequeña que sea, puede sembrar un mundo nuevo. Servir no es dar, es compartir, es ofrecer lo mejor de nosotros mismos. Transformarnos es una meta espiritual, es una urgencia del alma ante el sufrimiento del mundo. Por eso, en la Fundación Recta Acción trabajamos con una certeza: transformemos el mundo, el cambio comienza en nuestro interior. Ese es nuestro lema, ese es nuestro compromiso y ese también es nuestra humilde aportación a esta gran obra colectiva que es la Orden Teosófica de Servicio. Gracias por escucharme, gracias por caminar juntos en este sendero de luz, conciencia y amor. Thank you.